when I said, I saw Jesus walk down a golf course, and people didn't realize what I was saying. I said, "Do you see Jesus walk down there?" Because I saw fucking Tiger Woods come back and win the damn Master and had everybody gravitated to him. And McElroy gave him that privilege to say, "Man, go ahead. This is your turn now."
Oh, wow.
That's the last time I seen something like that.
You were there
I saw it on TV.
Oh, you saw it on TV.
You know, and then if you really want to take it really back, it was a tragedy and maybe somewhat unfortunate incident, the OJ thing. That's the only two things I can really think of. That was really striking the last 10 years.
Interesting. So, yeah, for mine, I think it's a bit longer. Michael Jackson and Princess Diana.
Right.
Those are probably the two in my lifetime that I've definitely witnessed in that way. But thank you for sharing that as well. And I mean, where I want to start is, and I want to hear it from your own words, because I think when anyone is as in the public eye as you are, and the people that we see and the people that we perceive, everyone has their version of who they think that person is. But what I'm interested in is, who is Dennis Rodman in the current version of how you see yourself?
Who is Dennis Rodman? I think I just led him with some cool stuff right there. With, OJ, you said Michael Jackson, now Kobe. And I was trying to put that in perspective for me. Who is Dennis Rodman? Let's see. If it would have been me that died, I would have had a whole different effect in the world. People would have celebrated. There would be no emotion. It'd be, oh, this is what he wants. Stuff like that. But for Kobe and stuff like that, my level of power and control about things on this planet is different. People expect me to do certain things. They don't expect me to do the Kobe thing. They expect me to do the cool stuff and have breaking news around the world. Okay, great. Then it's going to do this for us. Then it's going to do this for us. Then it's going to do this for us. And the sad thing about it, I'm not even trying to do this. I'm just fortunate enough to be able to put my foot in the door and say, okay, you know what? Let me try this, see how this is going to work. And for me, it's not about the money, the praise and the accolation. I don't give a damn. If it happens, it happens. I think people look at me and more like, wow, he's still living. He's still living. How? We don't know. But for me, I understand that I can persevere in certain tragedies, certain madness, and people look at me such a creative and a weird light, and it's very difficult to explain who I really am. In the beginning, I was such more like a diverse individual, but now it's more like people expect me to do something great, to do something really big. If I did something that's going to be really normal, he just looking for, some attention. If I do something really big, that's different. And that's where I'm at my love of my life right now. They want to see me do something really big again. Not because they saved my life or helped my life. It's more like, wow, it's unexpected for that guy to do it. Not the Kobe's, not the Michael Jordan, not the Tiger Woods, but me of all people. So I think that gives you a good light about me, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what does big mean to you? Like for you, when you think of doing something big for the world now and you feel like that's what's expected, but what does that mean to you?
I don't need to really prove myself anymore. I don't expect to be this human being that's fortunate enough to be in that situation. If it was more like when it's a hard task for anyone to try to do anything that's really creative, because life today is really moving fast, and it's so dangerous to live life today. It's so dangerous because now we expect people to die quickly. Back then, the Elvises, the guys in the 60s, stuff like that, we had a trend back there 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that the number 27 is kind of weird. Do anybody know about this? The number 27, every entertainer was dying at 27 years old.
Wow.
At 27. And nobody knows this. And it's like, wow,
Oh, I didn't
really?
know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, Reinhardt, she died at 27. All the great artists between the 60s and the 70s, all died at 27 years old.
Oh, wow.
27. When I was 27, I was just barely having sex. That's kind of weird. I'm an NBA superstar. But it's just so weird if people today don't really look at life so seriously anymore. They don't, because it's moving so fast. Because we need some type of accolade to keep our mind moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to sit there and try to control people's mind and independency to say, okay, great, here's some positive stuff for you today.
Yeah.
Knowing the fact there could be some negative stuff over here too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, which direction are we going as human beings?
Yeah.
And people don't want to have to take time out to sit down and understand that.
Well, you've said before that you think that things have become too easy for this generation right now. What do you mean by that?
It's too easy. I think everything is handed to this generation right now. I think the people that like us in the 80s has brought a lot of coolness to some people in the 90s. And now the 90s became the 2000s. And I was saying something the other day before the New Year's, right? I said, do people don't realize that 2020 is going to be an important year for a lot of people? You know, if 2020 is going to be important because everything you hear is about is 2020. Hindsight 2020. So what you do 20 years ago to now? What you do, everything's 2020. And you ask people, what does that mean? What you think it means? What do you think 2020 means today? Because we've been using this term for a long time, 2020.
Yeah.
You know, you can go to an eye doctor. Oh, you got vision 2020, right?
Well, hopefully people are going to find clarity.
But we'll probably find clarity with that. But most of the time we get 10, 15, 20 and stuff like that. But I would say, but it's just at 2020, it's a significant part going to be this year, pretty much. And I just think that people should really take time out to think. Because the world is moving so fast right now. And like I said, we had a couple of tragedies this year, and it made us think for a minute.
Yeah.
And then it's going to happen to us again.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to all slow this world down for a minute and open our eyes.
Yeah.
It can happen to us in this day and age. Because I see a lot of people in the 50s and 60s were doing so many hard drugs, so many stuff in the world, man. And you see these people still living today. Why is that? And you're seeing people inflicting themselves with pain and stuff like that. And I do it a lot. And that's why I'm surprised I'm still here. But everything is happening because we're inflicting all this negativity in our lives. And we expect people to come and give us positivity, energy every day, like this right here. Just like this right here. You do it for a living, right? And I don't want to insult you or anything like that. But I don't know who in the hell you are. I'm being honest. I have no clue who you are. But these guys gave me some information that the fact that you must got a powerful voice. And that's why I'm here, to share my voice with you.
I'm grateful for that, man. And I have no issue with you not knowing who I am. It's actually a beautiful thing.
I didn't have no clue. I said, but I just heard so many good things since I walked up here. And it's like, wow, he's that good because you're only 32 years old.
Yeah, man. I'm just very grateful that I met a lot of amazing people when I was young. So it all goes back to my mentors, my teachers, my coaches. It's not me. I can't really take credit for it. I'm just very fortunate. I met a lot of amazing people when I was young.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just like if I bring up the subject, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. Let's go there.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. Because a lot of people always ask me about that, Kim Jong-un.
I think people ask you about that, but I'm doing it differently because I think my perception, and this is what I was saying to the team before as well, is I'm more fascinated by you, your choices, the way you live. Like, I heard you say that, you know, the only demon that you're fighting right now is convincing yourself you're a good father.
Right.
Like what's fatherhood been like for you? What's your favorite thing about fatherhood?
Question.
You hate that question?
I hate that question.
Why do you hate that question?
Because I'm doing it to myself.
You're doing what to yourself?
Pain.
So that's a great place to...
That's a great place.
Yeah.
Great place.
I want to go there.
Right? Go there.
Kim Jong-un, yeah.
Oh, we don't need to go Kim Jong-un. Yeah. That's down the road, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. It's just hard. It's hard to understand how you became such a great human being in the beginning of your life, and all of a sudden, it's all about you now. You don't care about what people think, what people do to you, but you're always sitting there, like I say about that, self-inflicted. But for me, it's more like it's me, me, me. I can give a about nobody, pretty much, especially my kids. And that's the tough part. Why? I don't know. I have no clue why I'm like that.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
What helps you think? Because you were saying earlier that, and I agree, I'm totally with you, when you said that the world is moving too fast. So Gandhi has a beautiful statement. He said that there's more to life than increasing its speed. And everyone's trying to live this speeded life right now. We don't have time to think. We're focusing on distractions. I'm totally with you.
Right.
What helps you think and process? Where do you find time and space and gaps and the right people that you've got in your life that help you think through this type of stuff? Or where do you want to find them?
But it's funny though, you know. I always ask people in Newport Beach. Have you been to Newport Beach?
I have, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I asked people in bars, restaurants, I said, do anybody realize that the fact that, do any black people live here? I ask people all the time in Newport, do any black people live here? You know, probably you lived there a lot. Your lifestyle has lived there a lot. But I say, you hear any black people living in Newport besides me, Kobe, Shaq, who else? And a couple other people that got money. And like I said, but things are moving so fast. Even the sports world, it's so hard and dangerous to live the sports life now. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Because it's more like, okay, great. And when it comes to religion and pride and color and divisions and stuff like that, I get so sick and tired of hearing this stuff about black, white. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. It's just, you know, like I said, the world is moving too damn fast. But it's amazing though, it is amazing when you see black and white. And that's what I was trying to say about the COVID thing. I said, wow. All I saw was around the world, black and white hugging each other. Wow. But we want to put certain things in our lives to screw it all up. But it takes something like this to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part.
I'm with you.
That's the sad part right there. And it don't matter what color creed you are, but it takes this type of mess to put everyone together.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been like that from day one. I don't care, man. The only thing that I can't seem to figure out is that question. Why I'm a bad dad. And I think I'm a good dad, but in my kids' eyes, I suck. And I talk real, I don't care. And a lot of people like me because I talk like this. And it's difficult every day. It's difficult to get up.
Yeah.
All the time. Sometimes you want to die. Sometimes you want to sit there and try to inflict pain to yourself, sit there to fix the whole problem. But for me, it don't seem like that's working either.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I need someone, maybe my kids, to sit me down and say, hey, pay attention. It's not all about you every day. I think that's what key I think I need right there.
Wow.
I'm going to see if that's going to open the door in my eyes and say, okay, great, let me pay attention to my kids finally.
Wow.
So.
Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you for opening up.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm with you on that. There's 2 points you raised there that I think are super powerful. The first one is, why does it take a tragedy to bring about unity? Yeah. And I actually went and did a few mini docs last year where we went and focused on areas in the US that had gone through tragedy. So like the hurricane in Houston, and we looked at some of the shootings that happened in Orlando. And because of that, so many communities that were initially against each other actually came together. Right. And that's exactly the question we were asking.
Right.
And sometimes it's the same for us, like what you're sharing, like sometimes it's the same for us. Like, unfortunately, sometimes until we experience deep pain, we don't feel forced to change. And I'm sure you've experienced that in your life where deep pain brought about big changes in your life.
Yeah, that right there is a good statement. That's a great statement. I think the deep pain for me has really elevated my whole life as far as thinking. You know, Sometimes I understand it, but sometimes I don't understand it. But it's just hard to really, when you've done so much in your life, it's hard to really wake up in the morning and wonder what can you do that's different. It's going to excite your life every day.
Yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of people say, you know, I've done everything in the world. I'm one of them. I'm saying, what's left for Dennis Rodman?
Yeah. There's only one person I heard Joe Walsh say something from the Eagles. So when he was speaking at an event, I remember a few years ago hearing him say that. I wonder how much of what you've experienced though, and you can be honest, I don't know the answer to this. I'm asking as a student of your life, how much of when you say you've done everything, how much of that is material versus spiritual? How much of that is internal versus external, trying stuff out?
I think when I start talking like that, I'm always joking about this whole thing. I said, I see why I'm talking like this, but I talk just like my mother. I talk like my mother because she's a spiritual person. I've never been so spiritual in her life because she's been playing for the church for like 50 years, 55 years, sure. Piano, and she believes in the spirit of love. But every time I start talking like that, when I said, that's my mother talking, huh? And I started seeing myself doing a lot of things my mother's done in the past. And I'm like, wow, man. And it puts a smile on my face when I start thinking about her.
Yeah.
Because she's like a lot of mothers around the world. They've been through a hard stretch in their lives, in the 40s, the 50s, 60s, and now things are easier. But for me, I just think that, God, man, I just look at a whole lot of cool things that's happened in my life and see what can I do to bring it forward in this light. I'm trying to, like this year, I'm trying to do something in 2020. I want to do something about ask 20 people, 20 questions, and focus on the last 20 years of your life and show me hindsight 2020 in your life. I love that. In your life, on 20 people, 20 questions, doing 20 years. 20 years, give me 20 years of your life right here.
That's a great idea.
That's it. 20 years of your life. Show us your life. And see, I don't care what it is, what generation, whatever this is. You could be 5 years old, and you could be 25 today. Show me 25 years, tell me 20 years of your life to this day.
Wow. I like that.
To this day.
People are so fascinated by you. Who would be your 20 people that you're fascinated by? Like, right. I'm like you said, like you've done everything. Like, I'm fascinated to know who you would be fascinated by to ask that question to. I think that is the best idea I've heard all year. Well, that's a great idea.
But I want to basically get 10 kids under the age of 10.
Okay. On
the age of 10, see what they would say. They weren't born 20 years ago. I want to hear what they say they would have been doing in the last 20 years. I want to hear that. Under the age of 10, I want to get 10 kids. They're going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I want to ask those 10 kids because they don't give you the answer, something like, I wasn't born 20 years ago. But if you throw a question at kids today, especially that young, but you can work an iPhone, can you? You can sit there and do anything in the world with an iPhone. Huh? You can go to all these little secret compartments and stuff like that, but you can't tell me what you would do 20 years ago to now. You can't tell me, but you could tell me about my life.
Yeah.
But I want to put that to kids and see how kids respond to that.
Yeah.
And then give me 10 people age of 25 to 40. Mm-hmm. 25 to 40. Now I want to hear your answers. Hear your answers. I want to hear those kids under 10 years old. Let me see how similar are they. I want to say how similar are they. And people will be surprised. It could be so similar. It will be so similar because if you look at families' lives today, a lot of people that have kids that are parents, adults and stuff like that, these kids are pretty much the parents. If you see people that are parents, these parents are walking behind the kids now. They're walking behind the kids. They listen to these kids. That's 5 to 10 years old. There's no control about anything in life today, but we do have self-control in certain areas of our life. Just like they say in China and Hong Kong, they got a different regime over there. And when we start speaking out about China and Hong Kong and Tokyo and stuff like that, we got no business saying anything about those guys. No business. But the deal is, though, they love us. They love American people. They love American people. And for people to sit there and say, look, religions around the country, and what China and Tokyo and Hong Kong is doing, they're trying to create this new regime now. They want people that's been in the parliaments or whatever, that's been there for hundreds and hundreds of years. They want to see this stuff change. Stuff like that. It's just like Donald Trump. He wants to be the first guy to do everything first. You know, I brought America together because of Kim Jong-un. I mean, yeah, you did. Don't forget that black guy. Don't forget that black guy did it first. Okay? So I'm just saying, you know, but those things right there, people don't understand about life. I think you do, because I think you have a full religions about really cool stuff in your life at 32 years old. You know, you say you're a Buddhist, right? So like stuff like that. But it's just a beautiful way to look at life through my eyes and through your eyes, and try to see some type of weakness and some type of a consistency as far as happiness and joy with people. I try my to see that. To see that. But it's difficult to see because too much negativity in people. You know, people next door over here would sit there and tell you to get the hell away from me, quick. You know, but
I love that experiment, man. That's a great idea.
That's a great. I'm just saying, people would love to tell you get the hell away from them quick, right? But then when you go to an airport, people are so sad in airports. They're mad and they're sad. Mad and they're sad. You know, you'll get more happiness in a hospital you do in an airport.
Why do you think that is?
I'm just saying, do you ever thought about stuff like that? You go to a hospital, you'll get more happiness there than you would get in a damn airport.
Because again, it's when we're in that deep pain.
Well, that deep pain and stuff like that. You know, everybody in the airport is so rushy. But you can't go anywhere unless that plane goes somewhere. Okay, so you sit here, You don't want to sit by next to somebody because if I sit next to them, I got to go sit there and wash my hands, sanitation stuff. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We're so like diseased to people. I'm like, okay, great. So, boom. If you go to a hospital, at least people are crying for a reason. These people are sad for a reason. These people are doing one thing, trying to bless the Holy Spirit to help. That's right there. It's a whole different story right there. Okay, so when you leave the hospital and the doctor say, it's okay. It's okay. Don't have to run away. It's okay. It's okay. Don't have to hide away. This is my voice. This is my choice. Understand that one. Damn. Understand that one. Quick.
Okay.
I mean, quick. But this is how I like to talk.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're talking a different way, but I think
it's great, man. I love it.
We come like this right here. So, and I can say this about me. I try not to go too deep into something I don't know anything about.
I love that. Me too, man. Me too. Tell me, I want to know, you've said you've done everything, you've had all the experiences. Tell me about the most joyful experience you ever had. The experience that you had that made you the most happy. For you, whatever it is.
Being broke.
Oh, wow. When was that?
Not too long ago. I'm sorry. No, I'm screwed around. No. Just, seriously, not having money.
Okay. Why was that the most joyful, happiest time in your life versus having money and having fame? And why was that the one that you chose? I'm intrigued.
Well, life back then let you live a little bit. There's no pressures. There's no accolation to do anything that's significant to hurt other people. So you go outside every day and live, and be happy. And there's nothing that's going to contain you to sit there and say, okay, you got to go over here and da. Okay, great. I love the fact that I got kicked out of the house. I love that. I love the fact that I lived on the street. Love that one because it got me going today, how I live today. I love the fact that I don't like about money because it hurts me more than anything in the world. So if you look at some of the things I've said over the years, my interviews, I said, you know what? I didn't play the game for the money. I didn't play the game for accolades. I didn't play the game to be famous. I just love the game. I love making people happy. That's all I always say. So that right there is the most happiest time I've been in my life when I was broke.
Wow, that's powerful, man.
So-
I don't know a lot of people who would say that. It takes a lot to say that.
So you give me $20 a week, I'll have that bitch going on for 10 days. I'll ride it out for 10 days. So okay, that's me right there. They'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But-
and what's been the most challenging part of your life where you overcame a big fear of yours, or you overcame a big challenge of yours that you were struggling with? Because that was the one that most people would have pointed that for challenging. So now I'm intrigued to hear what you have found as a challenge, or where you feel like you've really broken through a fear.
I broke through a fear. I think the fact that a man in my life, I called him my father. I didn't let that bother me. I said, he could be my friend. I broke through that right there. I didn't let something that was so missing out of my life deter me to keep living the way I'm living. So when something like that comes back in your life, and it's a hurtful thing, it's a fucking painful thing, painful. As a distance, I'm trying not to be like him or something like that. I want to do that. I want to keep it where I can say, okay, great, this is my friend. But I broke through that right there because I could have just bowed down to him and said, okay, great, you owe me $2 or $3 million, man. You know, you came here and ruined my life. You know, you wrote a couple books about me. You didn't give me a damn dime. So, and I'm like the first kid you had out of 49, but you still didn't care about me. But you went out and did anything anyway when I asked to me. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. Everything's going to be all right. Every little thing is going to be all right. And people don't know about that. Every little thing, not the big thing. Every little thing is going to be all right.
That's beautiful, man.
Right?
That's huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know many people who have been in that situation. Mm-hmm. That's huge. And that's definitely a huge fear to break through. Mm-hmm. It's a huge fear to break through. I just want to acknowledge that because I think it's important to recognize that.
And it's funny that we're doing your podcast here, and they say, you're the number one in the world. So I guess they will get a great vision and a view about me and saying that we didn't know some of these things about Dennis. I've written books, I've did interviews and stuff like that. And like I said, for you to be 32 years old and have this knowledge that I probably don't have when I was 32 years old. Your wisdom and your outlook and your praise about, Holy Spirit and whatever you believe in the world, a lot of people can't get to this gravitation what you got. And I'm pretty sure that's why you're so famous. That's why this is really happening for you around the world. You're reaching to people that can't do what you do. At 32 years old, bro. 32 years old.
That's very kind of you, man.
I'm just saying, like I said, I've never heard this before, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear about it after we leave. Right? so
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Yeah, no, I hope so. But no, man, like I said to you, and this is why, and I mean this, I'm not just saying this, I mean it. Like, we are all fortunate or unfortunate based on who we meet in our lives and the impact that they have on us.
Right.
Like for you, Pearl Jam. Like,
right, Pearl Jam.
Like, I want you to share about that, because I think that we have people who either change the trajectory of our life, extend our lives. I was just, if I'm completely honest, I was an average kid who loved the same stuff that every kid loves, right? I wanted to date hot women. I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to be famous when I was 18 years old. Like, what else do you want when you're 16, 17, 18? I wasn't a saint growing up. I was just one of those people who wanted to do everything that was out there in the world. But when I was 18 years old, I met someone, and now in hindsight, I look back, when I was 18, I'd met people who were rich, I'd met people who were famous, I'd met people who were beautiful, but I'd never met anyone who was happy. And when I met this monk, I believed that he was fully happy. And now after knowing him for 14 years, I'm still convinced that he's happy. And when I saw that and experienced that at 18, I was like, I want that. I don't want any of this. I want that. I want that experience. I want that feeling, because I could see everything else around me. So for me, I owe it all to the people that I was exposed to. And similarly with you, when you talk about Pearl Jam, like when you're exposed to certain things, that saves you it saves you from your own self.
For your own self, pretty much, yeah. Well, Pearl Jam, that pretty much put me on a different level as far as living. They gave me opportunity when because I was lost at that particular time. Yeah. And I wanted to shoot myself, kill myself, or kill the old